Our boy locks onto his target, that sword already blazing with blue light. And he's facing a whole family of angry-looking griffins. With a focused glare, he winds up for a massive swing. The blade just tears right through the monsters, leaving his audience completely stunned. One shot, even he's impressed. The rookie is on fire. But then a wave of pain hits him out of nowhere. Dark energy erupts, ripping from his body as he starts losing control. He has no idea what is happening, just that the system is slamming him with a level down debuff. All his hard work is vanishing right before his eyes. His level plummeting with every passing second. You see, the whole point of the grind is hitting level 50 for a special skill, a total game changer, an ability that basically defines your entire class. That's why he pushed himself so damn hard, only to get the universe's worst joke, a skill called level down. Now he's in some cave, someone screaming for him to die. It's that blonde punk Gazaria kicking him while he's already down. Gazaria is absolutely losing it, demanding proper titles while beating him. What a psycho. His cronies just watch, mocking how far the former swift rookie has fallen. Shun's bright status screen confirms it. He's level 1, a total nobody. A massive fall from 5 years ago when he was the top prospect, but that cursed skill dragged him down every single fight until he was basically a civilian. Left for dead among monsters, his allies, of course, bailed on him. And all the jealous haters came out of the woodwork to kick him while he was down. You can really see the absolute shock and betrayal on his face. At the front of that hate parade is Gazaria, enjoying every second. But even on the ground, Shun's not broken. He's just furious. All he ever wanted was to be a hero like his dad. He's been searching everywhere for a cure, still protecting people along the way. Those moments of gratitude were the only thing keeping him going. Back in the present, Gazaria just keeps wailing on him, rubbing salt in the wound, mocking the rookie he used to be. Turns out Gazaria is just a level 66 loser with a massive inferiority complex. Shun calls him out, saying it's his own damn fault for being lazy. That truth bomb earns him a punch to the face. He just glares back, completely unfazed. Gazaria loses his cool over that defiant look. What a fragile ego. He decides it's time to finish the job and kill Shun for good. Gazaria summons a pack of purple ghost wolves because a fair fight is for chumps, and Shun is just stunned to see them materialize in the cave. The blonde psycho smirks, not wanting to get his hands dirty, mocking that Shun's too weak to handle a single blood Volf, even beaten down. Shun's worried about other adventurers getting hurt, which earns him a brutal kick to the stomach. Gazaria then tells his lackeys to keep their mouths shut about this. They just leave our boy for dead, making up some lame excuse to bail. His parting shot is a smug reminder for the rookie. There is no escape. He reveals he's summoned an entire army of monsters to finish the job. Right on cue, the wolves start closing in on a helpless Shun. But then, a system window pops up right in front of him. It reminds him he's still level 1, and fighting is a terrible idea. His only real option is to run, avoiding any combat whatsoever. But of course, he runs right into a goblin leading another monster pack. Hiding behind a wall, he realizes Gazaria has flooded the entire area. What a sick coward. He thinks, why not just fight him directly? That's when a sudden scream echoes through the dungeon. He peeks around the corner. He sees a girl surrounded by those same wolves. She's completely shocked by the sheer number of monsters here. Shun sees the girl cornered and immediately knows this is bad. His level 1 status flashes in his mind. Can he even do anything with that curse? Fighting just makes him weaker, so winning feels impossible. The logical move is to just hide and wait for someone else to show up. As a Volf lunges at her, he tries to convince himself that staying put is the right call. But his feet are already moving. Screw logic. He leaps right in front of her to take the hit himself. A flash of blue light tears through the first Volf. He knows a normal level. One should be dead right now, but this is Shun, the guy who's killed thousands of these things. Turning to the girl, he tells her to get the hell out of there. She's just stunned that this random dude saved her life. Another ghost wolf immediately charges in to take its buddy's place, though Shun is already focused. Ready for the next move, remembering their weak point is the belly. A perfect target. He ducks right under the pounce, lining up the perfect counter, then unleashes an upward slash that just obliterates the whole pack. This girl can only stare, completely speechless at the carnage, while Shun just casually notes there are 2 more to go. His only thought is that if he can take them down, at least she'd be safe. And for his heroic deed, the system rewards him by dropping his level by 2. Taking him from level 1 all the way down to a big fat 0. The system itself seems to have a meltdown over this, flashing a giant red error. A wave of pain slams into Shun as his body just glitches out completely. And the system helpfully clarifies the error. His level is now -1. Our boy cannot even process this. A negative level is just fundamentally broken. Dark energy erupts from his body as he tries to figure out what's happening. His only thought is that he just wanted to protect that girl. He wanted to be a hero like his father, to be strong enough to help people. So why did he get stuck with the universe's most pathetic skill? For a second, he almost gives in, questioning if it's finally time to give up. But then he remembers his dad and finds his resolve. Absolutely not. He has made his choice and he is not backing down. He's going to keep fighting. He'll protect everyone until his final breath. His eyes burn a fierce crimson. He declares he doesn't give a damn about this supposedly defective skill. Even if his level keeps tanking into the negatives, he's diving in head first. He charges the last 2 wolves, blade drawn and ready to strike. His only goal, make sure that girl gets out of this cave alive. Suddenly, a mysterious light erupts, praising his indomitable spirit. The girl he just saved is left completely stunned, blushing at his side. What was that? The mysterious voice returns, congratulating Shun for hitting rock bottom. Then, the world around him just starts to glitch out. The last 2 wolves freeze mid-lunge, caught in some kind of time loop. Shun is left absolutely baffled, staring at the monsters. They're stuck like a corrupted video file. A system window then appears. The ultimate loophole, hitting negative levels actually broke the curse. Our boy is staring, trying to process this insane, reality-bending turn of events. Because this apparently unlocks the hidden power behind the entire world. His mind is reeling from the implications as he gets pulled into a void. The system then drops another massive bomb on him. He's unlocked error skills, starting with black flame magic. He looks back at the frozen scene and realizes time itself has stopped. That's when some shirtless, glowing guy just materializes out of thin air. Shun is naturally confused by the sudden appearance of Mr. ABS. He asks who the hell he is, but recognizes the voice immediately. The stranger just smiles, saying he can't hold this time stop for long. So he offers Shun a quick explanation. A direct brain download. It feels exactly as pleasant as you'd imagine. Judging by the look on Shun's face, the entire world is cursed. The very concept of levels is a trap, and he's floating in the void. Levels aren't a blessing, they're a curse. Mr. ABS just smirks, confirming it. The whole system is rigged, with a hard level cap for all humans. But Shun broke it by going negative, granting him raw power. Power that exists completely outside the world's broken rules. Our guy is trying to wrap his head around this cosmic cheat code. But the glowing dude announces the free trial is over, time is up. Shun tries to demand more answers as the guy begins to fade away. He gets one last piece of advice delivered with a cryptic smile. A simple new rule: the lower his level drops, the stronger he becomes. And just like that, he's dumped back into the cave. Info overload complete. Right on cue, the 2 ghost wolves unfreeze and lunge straight for him. He's totally blindsided as time snaps back. He barely reacts in time. He manages to dodge the first strike, still reeling from the cosmic reveal. No time for an existential crisis with hungry monsters on his tail. The wolves are closing in, just as vicious and starving as before. Shun decides it's time to test out that new error skill. He unleashes a torrent of black flame magic, and the sheer power is terrifying. The sheer power of it leaves him absolutely stunned. This dark energy, it's unlike any magic he's ever seen before. And somehow, he knows exactly how to handle it on his first try. The girl he just saved is floored, amazed he took out the whole pack with one attack. But suddenly, a group of adventurers arrives on the scene. They're shouting, demanding to know what caused that massive explosion. And would you look at that, one of Gazaria's lackeys is right there. He looks absolutely horrified because Shun, the guy they left for dead, is standing there, staring them down. The little goon is in total denial, refusing to believe Shun won. He wiped out all those monsters. Then the girl, Liz, snaps back. Yes, he did, and she's beyond tired of repeating herself. The lackey tries to downplay it, reminding everyone that Shun's just a rookie. But Lisa grabs him, telling him to shut up about reputations, right now. Another adventurer notes that standing up to Gazaria is a huge deal. That makes Shun's survival even crazier. Lisa turns to Shun, blushing. She decides to formally introduce herself to her savior, leaving our boy flustered. He's not used to the hero treatment, but she insists on calling him Shun-sama. End of discussion. Gazaria's crony is fuming in the background, absolutely dripping with jealousy. Meanwhile, Shun is quietly checking his status screen. He's still wrapping his head around being level -1. His stats are a joke. His defense is so low a stiff breeze might kill him. But the screen confirms a new, strange skill, black flame magic. He thinks back to the overwhelming force he just unleashed. He knows it was beyond any normal limits. A spell that should take years of training to even attempt. Lisa's still talking, admitting she doesn't understand what happened. Shun just smiles. He thinks he doesn't either, but he's definitely not complaining. This new power might finally make him a hero like his dad. But then, a sudden tremor rocks the entire cave, shocking everyone. Gazaria's goon feels an overwhelming presence. They look up, and there it is. A gigantic, glowing blue dragon has materialized, a void dragon. Its level is so high it just reads as question marks. The lackey blames Shun. Shun is like, are you kidding me? If it isn't a summon, then this is a wild boss monster, way out of their league. Their brave little crony starts screaming his head off. Shun can only stare, completely terrified by the new arrival. Suddenly, a vision flashes through his mind of someone else fighting this beast. The memory hits him with a wave of intense pain, because somehow on some level, he actually recognizes this dragon. Just like Mr. Ab said, there is something important he's forgotten. As the dragon coils, its power floods the cavern. The ghost wolves he incinerated. They start to reform right behind him. Apparently, the dragon has a passive healing aura that can revive the dead. Great. Gazaria's guy finally grasps the gravity of their situation. These guys are beyond screwed. That dragon just opened its massive maw. It's charging a breath attack, and that terrified lackey tries to throw up a pathetic magic shield in pure panic. Shun yells at the idiot to run, because that shield is basically tissue paper. The blast instantly shatters that flimsy barrier, and Gazaria's goon gets a face full of absolute divine punishment. It's not looking good. His buddy just stands there watching him drop, probably thinking he really should have listened when Shun told him to run. Shun realizes this dragon's power is even more broken. It can rewind time. Liz suddenly steps in front of him, telling him to get back. She declares it's her turn to repay the favor against the giant lizard. Shun tries to warn her it's reckless, and something is fundamentally wrong with this beast because time manipulation is a power that shouldn't even be possible here. Of course, the dragon just charges up another massive beam. It unleashes a torrent of energy right at Liz, and she braces for the hit. Knowing she's outmatched, Shun is caught in the blast wave, grunting from the force. It's do or die. He's taking a massive gamble. Liz stares in pure disbelief at what's unfolding because Shun has thrown himself right in front of her to tank the dragon's breath. He's screaming in agony, and his body starts glitching. Again, this time with a violent purple static. He grits his teeth, forcing himself to endure it. Liz watches in absolute horror, tears welling in her eyes. Shun focuses on that memory. Knowing it's somehow the key to this whole mess, he realizes that fragmented memory is definitely his, and the system starts screaming error. Detecting a power beyond its rules, Shun just smirks, fully embracing this game-breaking power. Suddenly, an auto mode barrier just deletes the dragon's attack. It's like he's hitting negative damage levels. It even comes with a full heal. Talk about a crazy perk. His eyes are glowing with that intense purple energy, finally confirming that vision was a real memory of his own. Just like the mysterious guy promised, he's way stronger now. Liz can only stare in awe as he turns to face the giant lizard. She's wondering if he's some sort of legendary hero. Girl, you have no idea. Even the dragon seems stunned by the sudden turn, but it quickly recovers, letting out a furious roar, leaving Shun looking like a tiny speck before the colossal beast. Shun just scoffs, calling the dragon's power useless against him, and unleashes his black flame magic. It forms a massive, demonic dragon head that lunges right for the lizard's face, completely engulfing the creature in dark energy. This void dragon is clearly having a terrible time, its eyes bugging out, but Shun is already moving way too fast for it to catch. Those hazy memories are the key, exactly what that glowing guy promised. John realizes this error skill has more than one trick hidden away. He channels purple energy into a brand new, lethal sword technique, a secret origin blade that summons its own massive dragon. He unleashes it with a roar, his dark dragon tearing through the air. It completely devours the void dragon, a total wipeout. The system rewards him by dropping his level to -3. It even grants a second error skill. Talk about reverse grinding. He looks at his hand, feeling new power surging under his skin. No clue what it does yet, but this negative level tier is broken. Sometime later, they're back in town, the crisis finally behind them. Shun and Lisa walk side by side, looking like a total power couple. He asks why she's still tagging along to the Adventurers Guild. Lisa gets fired up, declaring her reason is perfectly logical. That flawless logic, because you are here. Simple as that. Shun is left utterly confused, but she just latches onto his arm. She calls him her lifesaver, and he just sighs in defeat. No point in arguing with his new #1 fan, right? He made sure to harvest the dragon parts, keeping his hobby a secret. This negative level thing is a mystery, same as his lost memories. For now, he just wants to cash in his loot at the guild. Lisa suddenly tells him not to worry about it, leaving him baffled. She's offering to be a sugar mama, and our boy is not ready for that. Back in town, Shun overhears adventurers gossiping about a massive dragon. An unmeasurable threat. He knows this is going to be bad. He has to shut down these rumors before they get out of hand. He turns to Lisa, trying to apologize for the dungeon insanity. She just gives him an annoying smile, promising his secret is safe. Our boy is stunned into silence by how quickly she caught on. He thought she was airheaded, but she is actually super reliable. A mind reader, apparently. He thanks her, genuinely grateful for the support. The two of them finally head over to the Adventurers Guild. Walking through the doors, Shun looks about as thrilled as a dentist trip. Everyone starts whispering about the rookie and his useless poison skill. Lisa tells him to ignore the peanut gallery, just let them talk. Shun reminds himself to keep those two error skills a total secret. He steps up to the counter, trying to act cool and casual. The receptionist stops him, asking to confirm he was in Dungeon 37. Shun slips into a quiet panic, thinking she knows about the dragon. Turns out she is just worried because Kazaria never came back. She's just glad he's okay, and he offers a nervous laugh. Suddenly, a strange, glitchy voice echoes through the entire hall, telling them to wait. Both Shun and Lisa are totally caught off guard. The disembodied sound leaves the other adventurers confused and looking around. Wondering who the hell just spoke, a massive purple glow erupts. A massive magic circle erupts, lighting up the entire guild hall. The other adventurers are totally stunned by the sudden, eerie glow. Dark energy spirals around a woman lounging on the balcony above. Shun feels it instantly. Her power is just overwhelming. It is Eurisha, an S-rank illusionist and one of the strongest fighters alive. She starts grilling everyone about the Void Dragon, claiming the dungeon was empty. The receptionist confirms the dragon is gone, but notes several dead wolves. Eurisha's eyes narrow as she listens. She isn't buying a word of this story. She gets right in Shun's face, demanding the truth. Shun is a total mess, completely rattled by her intense pressure. Then, some random guy in a suit decides to butt in. He starts trashing Shun, calling him a weakling who struggles with basic mobs. Eurisha gives him this incredibly sweet, gentle smile. Then her expression turns ice cold. She tells the idiot to shut his mouth. He starts choking, lifted by an unseen force. She casually says he can talk again in about a year. With that handled, she pivots back to Shun. He still denies everything, but her grin says she knows the truth. She backs off, making Shun think he is finally in the clear. But psych, she lunges at him with a dagger from thin air. Shun barely blocks the surprise strike, completely caught off guard. He dodges back as the blade misses his face by a hair. He calls out her phantom trick, only to realize the blade is real. Instinct kicks in and he throws up black flame magic to defend. Eurisha is actually amused by the strange skill as their powers collide. In a flash, she has him pinned, boasting that her illusions are unbeatable. She demands to know why he is hiding secrets about the dungeon. Our guy is sweating bullets, completely at a loss for words. She launches into a champion of justice speech that sounds oddly believable. She is hunting error monsters and needs to know whose side he is on. She threatens to silence him, just like that other Ladmuth earlier. Shun recognizes the technique and realizes how screwed he really is. He laments his complete failure to avoid the public eye. With no other choice, he decides to unleash his second error skill. Watch this. Even the S-ranker looks genuinely shocked. He grinds his teeth and triggers the new power. He never wanted a scene, but he has no choice now. It is time to throw his low-profile plan straight out the window. He floods the hall with dark energy. Eurisha is visibly rattled by the sudden power spike. His principle of attack skill supercharges his sword. He lets out a furious shout and pushes back against her. Eurisha just grins, realizing her own power is getting a boost. Still, that raw force from the clash sends Shun stumbling backward. She looms over him, asking if he was holding back this whole time. She admits it really didn't look like it, which just adds to the mystery. Meanwhile, the peanut gallery is losing its mind over a rookie fighting Elijah. Lias just smirks. Completely unbothered, she knew she picked a winner. Those two lock eyes in a silent, tense battle of wills. Shun focuses on his new principle of attack skill. He figures it is just as simple. Basic attack power buff, which is a good start, then pulls up his status. Screen to check the numbers, revealing his attack power is now to 110, a whopping 10 times what it was. Elijah points out that is literally impossible. By the system's rules, looking more fascinated than angry by this game-breaking kid. Her strange reaction leaves Shun completely bewildered when a sudden memory fragment flashes through his mind. A hand with strange markings, followed by another vision of some dude. Surrounded by flames, Shun is suddenly trapped in a horrifying illusion of a battlefield where a version of himself directs the chaos as people scream for help. He watches the carnage, realizing Elijah is showing him this nightmare, and he just wants to know what her twisted Game is, this vision then shifts to show Uriah herself in peril, which seems to be the final piece of her little puzzle. She is impressed he can stay calm and analyze the situation, concluding his anger means he is not allied with the enemy. With that, the illusion shatters into purple fragments, and she offers a breezy apology, now satisfied. He is not a villain. Our boy is just stunned, trying to explain he was not being malicious, but she has already figured out his whole "I want a quiet life" deal. She is also genuinely amazed he could parry her blade, a rare feat apparently, leaving Shun to mumble a thank you for the extremely violent job interview. He finally lets his aura skill fade, thinking the danger has passed, and Uriah even releases the silencing curse on that loudmouth from earlier. She gives a half-baked apology for getting a little too intense, then her face darkens as she admits she just loves to bully weaklings. This poor guy who just got his voice back is immediately struck speechless by fear, and he and his pal scramble away, leaving Shun alone with the terrifying S-ranker. Uriah leans in, promising to do something nice for Shun as an apology. Her smile is anything but reassuring as she tells him to just sit tight. Behind them, her fan club is having a collective meltdown, begging for 3 seconds of her time. An entire line of dudes has formed, all waiting for an audience with the S-ranker, and the whole guild hall is basically just a giant queue for her autograph now, while she is just casually rejecting them, telling one guy to check back in 10 years. Our boy is completely baffled by the scene, as Leist just calls it a nuisance fan club. Uriah could not care less about her fanboys, though. She then turns to Shun and asks him to go out with her point blank. This sends the entire guild hall into a state of collective shock, but she immediately clarifies she didn't mean it that way at all, even as Lee scolds her. What she's actually after is getting him to join her elite organization, Levantine. Our guy is just sweating, completely unable to process this sudden job offer. He finally snaps, shouting that there is no way he can understand this. Levantine, it turns out, is the kingdom's most elite group made up of S-rankers. Their whole purpose is to fight the recent, dangerous surge of air monsters. Like the Void Dragon, these beasts are capable of leveling entire cities single-handedly. It makes zero sense to him, given his level-down skill. It makes him a bottom-of-the-barrel E-rank. Uriah leans in again, asking him directly if he's the one who beat the Void Dragon. She wants to know. She explains that error monsters are a huge threat, so she's scouting anyone with potential. Shun is completely flustered by this incredibly sudden job offer, pointing out she's recruiting him right in front of the entire guild, while the peanut gallery buzzes with envy over the name Levantine, and Uriah dangles the ultimate prize, getting petty revenge on his bullies. Everyone is just stunned this supposed weakling is getting scouted, and for a second, Shun actually considers it, thinking about finally being recognized. He admits he's tempted, but there's a much bigger reason he just cannot accept, triggering a sharp, painful flashback to his father leaving for a mission. The memory is vivid, his dad apologizing, promising he'd come back someday, telling him to be good. But all young Shun wanted was to become an adventurer with his papa. He made a vow to absolutely find him no matter what. Back in the present, that old promise solidifies his decision. Uriah grabs his arm, completely ready to drag him away, already planning a formal meet and greet with her organization's leader. But Shun looks away, apologizing for what he's about to say with total conviction. He formally rejects her once-in-a-lifetime invitation. Suddenly, a familiar sweet fragrance fills the air as purple magic swirls around him, and her voice echoes from the shadows. She's clearly not a fan of rejection. Then she's right behind him, announcing she will just take him by force. Because boundaries are for other people, Uriah gets real handsy, whispering that he's coming with her. Consent is optional, and her magic hits him hard, making his head fuzzy and compliant as she uses some creepy illusion skill telling him to just relax and obey. But he's fighting it, barely, staying on his feet as he calls out her name, even undermined. Control. Our guy tries to politely decline, saying he's got other plans, which gets a pretty shocked look from Uriah. He's breaking free all on his own. Lee finally steps in, telling the S-ranker to back off since he clearly said no. With a dramatic sigh, Uriah actually relents, figuring it cannot be helped, so she switches tactics, asking if he knows anything about the void. Dragon's sudden appearance, and Shun admits that yeah, the whole dragon mystery is still completely unsolved. He remembers how the beast just popped into existence with zero warning. This kid is deep in thought, while Uriah just watches him, waiting for an answer. So he reveals that Leventine's own investigation predicted an error monster would show up here. That's exactly why she'd been hoping he had extra clues for her. Shun finally gets it. Her whole aggressive recruitment was just about monster hunting. His attention shifts to those two goons from earlier. They're heading out the door, identified as lackeys of some guy named Gazaria. The pair got away safe until a blue energy flash whips past his face. A surprise attack. The entire guild hall erupts into pure chaos. Fiery, golem-like monsters crash the party, and everyone scrambles for cover. A massive stone creature leads the assault on the guild. Adventurers immediately charge into the fray, ready to fight. But these fiery golems aren't your average dungeon trash. A whole squad of fighters gets overwhelmed by one massive beast. One poor guy gets launched by a devastating punch. That golem just stares down, completely unimpressed by their pathetic resistance. Meanwhile, its buddies are moving with impossible, glitchy speed, swatting adventurers into the walls like they're absolutely nothing. From the doorway, a smug new guy calls the massacre regrettable. What a hero! Even he's shocked when a golem seems to teleport right in front of him. Uriah uses an appraisal stone, confirming these monsters are breaking all the rules. The results pop up. It's a leap golem with an unreadable level. Uriah is stunned, while Lisa just calmly announces that round 2 has started. It's an error monster attack, and there are tons of them. Uriah's purple aura absolutely explodes with raw power. She creates a squad of ethereal energy clones, ready for war. Shun is left speechless at the S-ranker's true strength. She declares herself a champion of justice, pretty rich coming from her. Her face twists into pure rage. She won't forgive this. In a flash of purple light, she dives into the heart of the chaos. Looking every bit the terrifying S-ranker, she's ready to clean house. Uriah's clones unleash a storm of energy whips. Shun is floored, realizing her illusions are somehow solid. She's absolutely losing it, screaming about how rude these monsters are. Shun looks outside. The whole town is under siege. The golems are on the rooftops, way too many for one person to handle. He tells Liz to manage the evacuation while he joins the fight. He powers up, knowing he has to give it his all out there. Just in time to see a kid about to be flattened by a giant golem. In a flash, Shun is there, blocking the massive punch with his sword. His principle of attack skill activates, letting him push back with everything. He tells the terrified kid to get to safety while he holds them off. With a quick thank you, the boy scrambles away, leaving Shun to his fate. That fate, facing down 3 giant, angry rock monsters all alone. A quick check of his status screen has him doing some battlefield math. His attack buff is too short. He needs a one-hit KO with his big magic. While the city burns, he's still busy strategizing. He notices the golems aren't trying to teleport attack Uriah, and suddenly, a light bulb. Everything clicks for Shun just a second before a golem blinks into his space. It's right in his face. He's scrambling, heart racing, running for his life. He knows there is only one shot to survive this. The golems are glitching. That busted teleport dash is brutal. Shun gets absolutely hammered by the force. He realizes the truth. They aren't just fast, something else is going on. Even with his guard up, his health is tanking. Each hit is tearing him down. Over his shoulder, the kid he saved is begging him not to die. A golem looms. It flexes, ready to finish the job, but Shun grinds his teeth, pure grit. He isn't done yet. He launches into the air for one more desperate strike. Lee screams his name from the sidelines, pure, unadulterated panic in that voice. But Shun knows the only way to win. He calls out their big secret. It is not teleportation at all. He sees the pattern now. They just have a high-speed dash that only works in straight lines. So he baits them into lining up perfectly. What a move! He activates his air skill, Black Flame Magic. A torrent of pure, purple doom erupts, tearing through the air. A massive beam of energy incinerates the entire street in a flash. The kid and his mom stare in shock. Lisa is watching, completely floored. He is an absolute pillar of purple flame. She's never seen power like this. The fire erases the golems from existence, leaving nothing but smoke. Shun stands there looking like a total boss. Meanwhile, Gazaria's lackeys watch. They are looking on from afar, wondering what the hell that magic was. Uriah stares, realizing his magic isn't just insane, it's calculated. He was waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Strategically genius. She finally concludes this kid is anything but ordinary. Took her long enough. A system notification pops up in Shun's face. Here we go. He has leveled up to -4, and there is a bonus prize. A brand new error skill, Revenge Your Curse. Our boy stares at the blue screen, totally baffled by this new ability. It is a damage reflection skill, a perfect know-you move. He puts it together. This has to be his curse finally lifting. He remembers that cryptic smile from the one who cursed him first. He stands there processing yet another broken skill. It is a lot to take in. The kid he saved timidly calls out to get his attention. The boy thanks him with the biggest, most heartfelt smile ever. Shun is touched. He is genuinely taken aback by the sincere gratitude. He tells the kid and his mom that he's just happy they are safe. Later that night, the city is finally quiet again under the moonlight, until some old guy starts weeping dramatically all over Shun. He's trying to fend off a very emotional hug from the town mayor. The mayor is a wreck because Shun saved his precious granddaughter today. Now he is getting plied with drinks, the hero's reward, I guess. Uriah gets a little too close for comfort, telling Shun to drop the modesty. She keeps pouring the wine, insisting he should be proud of saving a life. Lisa, completely hammered, slams her mug down, screaming about how wonderful he is. As the crowd demands another round, Shun thinks this is all a bit much. From the sidelines, Gazaria's goons are seething over that level-down bastard. They're convinced he's cheating to get this much female attention. Because of course he is, right? But the kid he saved marches over. He stands his ground, telling them to stop bad-mouthing his hero. Then he asks if they have any shame at all as grown adults. These lackeys are totally caught off guard, trying to talk down to him. But the kid isn't hearing it, just yelling that talking trash is wrong. Getting schooled on basic morals by a child leaves them completely speechless. Shun just watches this whole scene unfold with a quiet, knowing laugh. For a moment, he thinks that peace has finally returned to the city. Uriah, however, is looking pensive over her drink. She suddenly asks Shun if he remembers their earlier conversation. She points out that the error monsters appeared without any warning or presence. Shun immediately connects this to the Void Dragon's sudden arrival, a detail that has been bothering him for a while now. He remembers that even Gazaria wasn't the summoner, hinting at a bigger mystery. So he asks Uriah why her investigation specifically pointed to this town. Uriah explains that error monsters tend to respond in the same areas. On a map, she points out the pattern, though the cause remains a mystery. This gets Shun thinking hard, wondering if this is all just a coincidence, or if there's some kind of deliberate intention behind these attacks. A horrifying possibility starts to dawn on him. Suddenly he's up, asking Uriah to follow him right over a passed-out Lee's. Pay attention, our boy thinks he's overlooked something absolutely massive. So they head out into the ruined streets to investigate his hunch. Elsewhere, Gazaria's lackeys are checking a dead golem, noting its low power. The leader connects this to the Void Dragon, which was also suspiciously weak. Their theory is that summoned monsters need time to sync with the world. Standing among the wreckage, they seem pretty pleased with their deduction. That is when Shun ambushes them with a blinding sword strike. This goon barely blocks it as Shun's dark aura flares to life. With Uriah at his back, he calls them out for plotting something sinister. The lackeys just laugh, joking they should have used a people-repelling barrier. Uriah immediately recognizes these two clowns from the guild, and Shun confirms it. They are Gazaria's goons, the same ones from the dragon incident. But the main goon drops a bombshell. The monster attacks aren't random. He claims they're orchestrated by the people present at both events. Shun's theory solidifies. Someone else was pulling the strings behind Gazaria. The goons are right there, smugly confirming he's finally caught on. A tense silence hangs in the air for just a beat. This lead goon even praises him for finding the breadcrumbs they left behind, while Uriah is just completely lost, wondering what they are even talking about. Then the sidekick starts with the crocodile tears, mourning their dear leader. You and I both know this is about to get messy. Gazaria, enough of that act. Uriah snaps, surging forward in a streak of violet power. She slams a vicious spinning kick directly into his face. That cold look in her eyes. She tells him she can't stand a noisy mouth. She threatens to shut him up for good, pressing a glowing blade right against the goon's forehead. She demands he keep his mouth shut, but the guy just smirks, calling her attack a little harsh. A new player just entered the fray, catching her blade with his bare hand. Uriah is stunned. Her strike did absolutely nothing. She can only stare, baffled by his strange technique, while this guy gives a mock bow. An honor to meet an S-ranker. He gets a sinister look, a weird mark glowing on his cheek. Then he drops a bombshell, telling Shun he only figured it out because he's Pharaoh's son. Shun is completely floored, demanding to know how this stranger even knows his father's name. This guy is all smiles, confirming he knows, but his partner tries to cut him off, saying that's enough talking, a memo the blonde guy clearly ignored. Shun's dark aura explodes around him, giving them a one-word command, talk. He gets right in their faces, done asking nicely, eyes glowing pure red. He demands they spill everything. The pressure triggers. A flashback to young Shun, begging his father not to leave, but Pharaoh just gives him a sad, knowing smile, explaining he has to go stop the mastermind behind all these monsters. Little Shun is absolutely heartbroken, crying because he wanted to be an adventurer. With his dad, he makes a vow right then to get stronger and find him someday. We see him training alone as villagers gossip about his father who never came back, mocking the kid for still believing in his father's impossible dream. Hearing all this, young Shun's hands tremble with pure, helpless rage, and naturally, a local bully decides to stomp on his hand for fun. This little punk has the nerve to call his legendary father trash, laughing at the titles of World's Strongest and World's Hope. Shun, beaten on the ground, insists his father isn't a liar, so the bully just punches him in the gut. To top it off, he declares Shun is his personal toy. What a charming childhood, back in the present. All that rage is a weapon now. He repeats his demand one last time. Shun's dark aura spikes, his eyes burning with pure, focused rage. But the lead goon just scoffs, saying there is no reason to tell him anything. In a flash, Shun closes the distance, dark tendrils lashing out, leaving the guy completely stunned by such impossible speed. A massive blast of dark energy sends him flying across the street. He goes skidding back while the blonde guy watches, clearly entertained. This guy is loving the show, calling Shun's power incredible. Uriah readies her sword, but Shun tells her to stay out of this. This is his fight. He's going to finish it alone. She finally realizes this is all about his father. The blonde guy just laughs it off mockingly, pointing a finger, and with a snap, summons a whole squad of golems. Now our guy is surrounded by a bunch of stone-faced goons. He doesn't even blink, just stares them down. Blondie gives the order, telling them to crush him at once, so Shun unleashes one clean. Devastating sword wave Uriah can only watch, shocked by the instant takedown. Even Blondie's smug grin falters for a hot second. Realizing his entire army got one-shotted, this Megan scolds Carla for playing around, mentioning a message from their boss. This Megan warns Carla that pharaohs will get angry at this rate. Shun absolutely snaps, demanding why they keep using his father's name. Carla just laughs it off, telling him to forget what he heard, a classic villain stall tactic. But Uriah isn't waiting, launching a surprise attack from behind. And a massive blast of purple energy erupts where he stood. She puts her all into that vicious strike, a move so sudden it catches Shun off guard. Turns out she only hit a couple of decoys. Shun stands over the wreckage, realizing the real targets have vanished. And there they are, perched on a rooftop, watching like a play. The lead goon is back to scolding Carla, reminding him provocation was forbidden. Down below, Shun is radiating pure, unadulterated rage. Carla tries to stir the pot, telling Shun to ask Uriah for details smugly, suggesting she knows exactly why she just attacked him. Uriah tells him to stop talking. He mockingly agrees to leave it. Their objective is complete anyway. He says they will meet again sometime. With a final taunt, they step into a portal to make their exit, but a single red eye glows in the dark. Shun isn't letting them escape. Carla's smug grin instantly vanishes, replaced by pure shock, because Shun is right behind him, sword raised. Ready to end this, Shun brings down a massive arc of dark energy, aiming to cleave them in two. The lead goon cannot believe the sheer power behind the strike. With glowing red eyes, Shun reminds him he is the one ending this fight. Their defenses barely hold against the furious assault. Sparks fly everywhere, and our boy just roars, vowing to take them both down right here. Both villains cross their arms, looking bored while blocking a world-ending attack. He screams his promise, channeling all that rage into his blade. But the lead goon just casually throws up a transparent energy shield completely. Unimpressed by the whole display, what a buzzkill, Shun is stunned. His all-out attack just got totally stonewalled. This guy even critiques his form, saying his spirit is good, but he's too light. Not done yet, Shun leaps into the air for another go, which makes Carla grin, deciding playtime is officially over. Something new is coming. Shun can feel it. He unleashes his black flame magic, a concentrated blast from his hand, manifesting as a storm of black lightning raining on Carla. This whole rooftop erupts in a blinding explosion of power, yet Carla stands there, hands smoking, having never seen black lightning before. Even Shun is confused, wondering if it's the same as his own black flames. Carla connects the dots. Shun also wields their demonic master's power. Shun is reeling, realizing his dark strength mirrors theirs exactly. The lead goon admits he's shocked Shun awakened that power alone. Then he extends a sketchy job offer. Just come with us. Shun counters, demanding they surrender immediately. Then with a ground-shattering stomp, he demands they start talking. Carla just laughs at the audacity. Theatrically, she declares negotiations failed. Oh darn, he powers up his sword, deciding it is time to get his hands dirty. Shun readies himself. He meets her charge with a blade crackling with raw dark energy. Their swords are about to clash when Carla just disappears mid-swing, leaving Shun staring at nothing but empty air, totally confused. A surprise flash of red energy cuts him from behind. Classic cheap shot. Even Carla seems rattled, wondering if this is really Pharos' kid. But Shun just grunts, shaking off the hit like it is nothing. He immediately launches himself back into the fight, rage fueling every strike. And finally he gets it. The guy's skill is instant teleportation. Uriah sees this trickery and prepares to jump in, but Shun stops her. He insists this is his fight to finish. A massive pillar of dark aura explodes. Around him, playtime is over. With glowing red eyes, he dares them to come. He wants them both at once, and Carla's response is to literally applaud. Thrilled by the display, Carla thinks it is reckless for Shun to fight alone. A real bad take, but the lead goon warns her, don't underestimate Pharos' son. Carla just grins, calling this a glorious end. The goon charges in. Powering up a massive attack, he summons a literal mountain of jagged swords. From the ground, Shun is completely stunned by the sheer scale of it. Our boy is just staring up at this impossible wall of blades. And Carla decides to add his own special touch to the mountain. Pulling off another dramatic finger snap, he summons a whole new rain of swords in the sky above Shun. This unavoidable rain of death is ready to drop, screaming downward. A full-on barrage, Uriah can only scream his name, watching in horror. As Shun gets absolutely skewered, taking the full force of the attack. He digs his heels in, refusing to go down. With his aura flaring, he powers through. Through the pain, the lead goon is completely floored. He wasn't expecting that. With a roar, Shun shatters, every single sword impaling him right now. Even Carla's smug face drops in total. Absolute disbelief. And then a new message pops up. Error. Skill activation. Suddenly, a new skill appears. Revenge or Curse. It is aimed at the goon. The system explains it is a simple return to sender on any damage. Carla immediately starts bleeding out, hit with some premium instant karma. Because walking through the smoke is Shun, now with white hair. And a major power-up. This lead goon is also taking damage, finally realizing he's been cursed too. Carla just starts laughing maniacally, realizing Shun baited them on purpose. Shun's not wasting a single second. Shun unleashes a secret sword technique with his new power, a devastating purple, slash named Kagatsuchi that fills the entire panel, and it slams right into Carla, sending him flying across the rooftop with the villains. Down, Uriah moves in to secure the win, casting a binding spell. With a glowing magic circle on her hand, her spell hits its mark, wrapping both goons up tight in ropes of light. Instead of panicking, the lead goon just cackles, calling the whole thing magnificent. Uriah says it is a shame, even for the son of Pharaoh. While the goon is still trying to recruit Shun, talking about better paths Shun's response is to just brush some dust off his shoulder. A total power move, finally. He just tells them they are getting on his nerves. Standing over their defeated forms under the pale moonlight, you can see the exhaustion on his face, but he is not backing down. Uriah just watches him. The intense battle is finally over. This adrenaline wears off and Shun just collapses, caught by Uriah, who asks if he is okay. He just apologizes for the trouble, while she is internally freaking at over the insane power he just used, looking over the unconscious goons. Shun finally asks who these guys even are, but Uriah just tells him not to worry about it for now, revealing she already called for guild backup, who are just now arriving. Shun deadpans that they are a little late, with the fight being over. So she just hands him a health potion instead, calling it her special superior recovery potion, top shelf stuff. She then offers to give it to him mouth to mouth, and our boy just about has a meltdown. He quickly snatches the potion and chugs it down himself. Thank you very much. Instantly, a wave of healing energy washes over him, gratefully. He thanks her for the expensive gift, which she just shrugs off. But her expression turns serious. She says they need to talk alone. He is a little confused, but she insists they cannot. Just leave things like this because she has something to tell him about his father later. She drops the bombshell. His father is behind the error. Monsters. Shun slams the table, absolutely refusing to believe what he is hearing. Uriah admits it is a harsh truth, but it is a conclusion her guild reached years ago. In fact, she says that suspicion is the very reason she was wary of him at first. Shun points out the villains already hinted at his dad's involvement and Elijah confirms the investigation. Into Pharaoh is about to get serious. Our boy just stands. They're trying to process this world-shattering news. She knows it is a lot, but says there is nothing to be done about it now. In a flashback, she describes his dad as a legendary adventurer, a guy so strong. He was top tier even among the S ranks. In fact, she admits her entire team could not even touch him. But everything changed. After his big fight with the evil lord, back in the present, she apologizes for dropping this bomb on him. Shun just quietly puts the pieces together, it all making a horrible kind of sense. He realizes her pitch was actually a surveillance op. Then she waits for an answer. She lets out a sigh, her face saying it all. He caught her. Admitting he is just like his dad, impossible to trick, she tries to soften things. She says they are all just patriots here trying to keep it civil. Even offers to drop the recruitment if he's not feeling it. Quick flashback. Her guildmates told her Shun would surely understand her true motives. But he cuts her off, demands to join Levantine right now, no questions. Elijah is totally blindsided by this sudden 180, so Shun explains. If they are after his father, they are actually on the same side. His whole reason for becoming an adventurer was finding him in the first place. Elijah is just left speechless by his sudden, intense declaration. Then a new challenger bursts through the door, screaming, "This girl, Liz." She is in tears, demanding to know where Shun thinks he is going. She immediately latches onto him, begging not to be abandoned, reeking of booze. Zero shame, she then begs Elijah to take her along, and Elijah, finding this pretty hilarious, says sure as long as she passes the test. Liz's confidence is through the roof, winking that her power guarantees a pass, while our guy just wonders what power she is talking about. Elijah just sighs, thinking she almost passed for a normal person for a second. Shun is having a moment too, realizing she is at Astro's. Kind of overly enthusiastic girl, so he finally caves, agreeing. They will leave tomorrow, but she wants to go now. His excuse, they cannot travel with a drunk. She finds that deeply offensive and gets all fired up, insisting she does not care what anyone thinks, because it is Shun's character that makes her want to follow him. Then Elijah drops a bomb of her own, admitting that is why she fell for him too. That only fuels Liz's passion, vowing to make all his dreams come true. Shun is just blushing, completely short-circuiting from the double confession, and meanwhile Elijah is just enjoying the total chaos she created. She even compliments him on having such a cute supporter by his side. But then her tone shifts, asking if his resolve is still firm. Shun locks it in, vowing to join Levantine and uncover his father's secrets. And Elijah looks absolutely thrilled, saying she understands completely. She admits they would rather not make an enemy of Pharaoh's son, sealing their new partnership. And with new resolve, Shun silently promises his father he is on his way. He is absolutely burning with determination. Vowing to catch up to his old man, they arrive in Windsor, the city, where Levantine's headquarters is located, and oh boy is immediately hit with the sight of a super lively town square. This place is just buzzing with energy and packed with people. Liz is totally blown away, thinking it looks more like a festival than a city. But Elijah explains that yeah, the recruitment test is basically a public spectacle now. This massive crowd is making Shun super nervous, though Elijah finds it pretty funny, explaining the test is a series of high-level one-on-one duels, a real spectator sport. Our boy is still processing this. He clearly isn't a fan of performing for an audience. She tries to reassure him, an iron examiner is nothing. He already survived. Shun's face drops in total relief. There are no other monsters like her on this exam. Liz gets all fired up, and he just thinks this girl is off her rocker. Eurisha points toward the massive building ahead. Time for reception. Shun and Liz follow her gaze, looking up at their destination. It's a ridiculously huge, castle-like headquarters looming over them. Inside, a pair of receptionists in official uniforms spot them arriving. The receptionists give Eurytia superstar's welcome, complete with sparkles. They are already gushing over her latest capture, a literal fan club. Shun just wants to know who these intense women are. Then they finally notice him. Their immediate reaction is pure rage at this nobody walking beside their queen. Eurytia has to step in, explaining he's the one who helped and is here to test. That news does not go over well. They call him an unremarkable credit stealer. Liz isn't having any of that, immediately jumping to defend Shun's honor. But our boy just waves it off, saying he's totally used to this kind of treatment. Getting right in his face, they warn him not to expect a free pass. Eurytia is so done with this, face-bombing at her own subordinates' drama. She drops the nice act, giving them a look that promises severe consequences. Suddenly they're terrified, realizing they just messed with the wrong person's guest. With a quick smile, Eurytia reminds them Liz is also a candidate. Now on their absolute best behavior, the two offer to guide the new applicants. They're led to a massive golden doorway, the entrance to the testing grounds. A new, purple-haired receptionist greets them there. She confirms they're the challengers, saying Eurytia already filled her in. She offers to answer any questions, then starts the briefing. She hands a booklet over to Liz, and Shun just watches the handoff. He doesn't get one himself, leaving him completely confused about what's going on. Shun holds the booklet, a weird feeling suddenly creeping up on him. The receptionist flashes a super villainous grin. Now watch this. His danger sense goes absolutely haywire. He screams a warning at Liz, realizing it's a trap, but it's too late. The receptionist already has her at knife point. Furious, Shun demands to know what the hell she is doing. She just casually tells him to drop the sword, real polite-like. This imposter calls him out by his full name, Shun Bright. So he asks the obvious question, aren't you supposed to be Guildstaff? She just laughs, telling him he's not nearly cautious enough. Turns out, she's a shapeshifter, able to copy appearances, voices, everything. She smugly admits that infiltrating Levantine headquarters was a piece of cake. Suddenly, everything clicks for Shun. Infiltrating Levantine HQ was actually a breeze. Pieces are finally clicking for Shun. She is one of the villains they just fought, and she is thrilled. He realizes she heard her buddies were captured and is here for revenge. She demands to know where they were taken, pressing a blade to Lisa's throat. But Shun plays it cool, asking what happens if he just does not know. The villain laughs, reminding him he does not exactly have a choice right now. The threat is crystal clear: cooperate, or the hostage gets it. Lisa, bless her heart, screams for him not to give in, leaving Shun cornered. Gritting his teeth in pure frustration, Shun grips his sword tight. He agrees to her terms, or so it seems, and the villain smugly smiles. She tells him to drop the weapon, thinking she has already won this game. But our boy just stands there, sword in hand, not moving a single inch. His eyes narrow as a plan clicks into place. Lisa looks terrified, but she notices something strange, purple energy pulsing around them. She realizes what is happening, seeing Shun's true intent in her mind's eye. It is his power, not hers, and she finally gets his crazy plan. The energy explodes outward, making the captor scream as it engulfs them both. The villain is left completely blindsided by this sudden, violent surge of power. In a flash, the blast throws the shapeshifter clear off of Lisa. She slams into a wall, totally baffled by where that force even came from. Shun just smirks, hair glowing, admitting his risky plan actually worked out. He gambled on using an attack redirection skill right on her. The villain is livid, realizing he played her using her own hostage against her. Shun's power flares as he tells her to drop dead, unleashing a massive blast. She gets hit head-on, caught in a thick cloud of smoke and debris. He stays on guard while the dust settles. Worried more might be lurking, he immediately shouts a warning to the building. But then, the intruder reveals herself. She is actually one of Yuri's companions, here to help all along. With a super smug look, she enjoys the chaos and compliments their work. She calls the entire performance perfect, before announcing that both Shun and Lisa have passed the preliminary test. She watches them from above, totally satisfied with how things turned out. Our duo just stands there, completely speechless at this insane plot twist. She confirms the hostage crisis was just part of the exam. Talk about extreme. Then she gives a flirty apology for the life-threatening surprise. Shun is just trying to recover from a near-heart attack. He asks if this was all for him, to which she says of course. They cannot just let any potential informant join their ranks. After all, it was a loyalty test to see if he would crumble under pressure. Everything finally clicks for Shun. It was a twisted, double-layered exam. He grudgingly admits he sees why Levantine is considered so elite. The examiner turns to Lisa, praising her for being quick on the uptake too. Lisa just winks, throwing up a peace sign. She is used to this stuff. But Shun cuts through the celebration, ready to get down to business. The examiner gets real serious, reminding everyone these are just the prelims, warning them the real tests will not be forgiving. Then the scene shifts. A massive coliseum, packed to the rafters with thousands of screaming spectators. A blinding flash of impact hits the arena and one poor guy gets absolutely wrecked. Demolished in front of the roaring crowd, Lisa is losing her mind with pure excitement. Shun is just trying to process the insane number of people down below. Suddenly, an announcer cuts through the noise. He hypes up the next challenger, a rookie with a glowing recommendation from Uriah. Then his name is called. Our boy knows it's go time. He tells Lisa he's heading out, getting one last supportive cheer before the match. We see another applicant, a blonde guy looking up at the arena gate. He is clearly feeling every ounce of that pre-fight pressure right now. Still, he psychs himself up. He's determined to get through this somehow. Back in the arena, the announcer is ready to introduce Shun's examiner. A very calm dude in a white coat. He starts drawing his sword. Suddenly, a loud noise makes Shun whip his head around in total confusion. The entire crowd is on the edge of their seats, watching the chaos unfold. A massive pillar of fire erupts from the arena floor, catching someone off guard. Some other poor challenger is completely blindsided. The examiner looks on as the guy realizes someone just saved his skin. A new red-haired dude pops in casually, announcing he made it just in time. A real entrance. The examiner is not amused, asking why this guy is crashing his test. The newcomer just smirks, saying he heard rumors about an interesting applicant. He flew over from the desert, which has the crowd absolutely floored. That's a 2-week trip by carriage. He turns his attention to Shun. He asks to confirm if he's the guy he's looking for. This new red-haired guy just strolls in, proposing a 2-on-1 battle for entry. Shun is completely floored by this sudden change in the exam schedule. The newcomer adds that refusing means an automatic fail. No pressure or anything. Our boy is justifiably panicking, realizing he's facing a double test. From the stands, the crowd is absolutely loving this unexpected drama. Ask, the original examiner, protests that this is insane. Revealing the gatecrasher is an S-rank adventurer. He insists this is too much for a rookie, even when Uriah vouched for him, but the S-rank just grins. He turns to Shun to ask what he's going to do against all odds. Shun accepts, telling them to come at him at the same time. He powers up his sword, thinking this is the perfect chance to get answers faster. This red-haired dude is thrilled with his spirit. Well, Ask looks like he's about to stroke out. They lay out the simple rules: faint, surrender, or get knocked out of the circle to lose. Ask tries to warn the S-rank he's underestimating Shun, but gets cut off. Since the challenger already agreed, he needs to butt out. Suddenly, the S-rank's friendly demeanor drops, replaced by a seriously menacing look. This has Ask completely terrified, finally realizing he's been put in his place. Then, the newcomer unleashes a massive aura, crackling with fire and lightning. The sheer force sends a shockwave blasting through the audience. and Shun watches. A memory clicks into place. Someone born with a 1 in 10,000 miracle, multiple innate skills. Meet the S-rank Asnezria, a master of infinite magic, literally every element at his fingertips. He smarts, claiming he senses traces of Shun's father, Pharaoh, lingering on him. That name drop stops Shun dead in his tracks, but for me, I am just here for this fight. As Nezria goes full anime villain, demanding Pharaoh's son show him what he's actually got. Shun is losing his mind. The guy is already juggling for different elements right out of the gate. As Nezria lunges forward, ready to wreck our boy, but Shun counters instantly. He activates his own rare skill, some kind of terrifying black flame magic. Their powers collide in a massive, arena-shaking explosion of pure chaos. The blast sends the entire audience reeling back, and even the announcer is struggling just to hang on. They are locked in a dead-even sword class, leaving Nezria genuinely impressed. He wonders what kind of magic just canceled his attack. Shun, he just plays it cool. He gives a vague reply, which just makes Nezria laugh. He says Shun's dad was just as mysterious and unbeatable. Their fight resumes with another blinding flash of impact. The original examiner pipes up, asking if Shun even knows the truth about his father. As Nezria confirms it, realizing Shun is still chasing after Pharaoh's ghost. It changes his whole vibe. He makes a simple proposition. If Shun can actually beat him, he will spill the secrets about his long-lost father. As Nezria is a bit taken aback by the kid's sudden intensity. Shun just explodes forward in a flash of purple light, moving so fast he's practically a blur. He aims right for him, leaving the S-rank genuinely surprised by that raw speed. Their blades meet with a massive shockwave shaking the whole arena. Shun screams at him to spill everything he knows. As Nezria just grins, totally impressed by the kid's insane velocity. He decides to give him a little service for that fighting spirit. He reveals that Shun's dad was the actual founder of Leviton. That bombshell stops our boy dead in his tracks. Their fight continues with another furious clash of steel. Shun is reeling, realizing his father never told him a single thing. As Nezria laughs, saying the freebies are over if he wants to learn more. Suddenly, the original examiner offers to help, calling the 2-on-1 unfair. He gets a very serious side-eye from Nezria for his trouble. This guy tries to explain he thought it would be interesting at first. Nezria just karate chops him in the neck, deciding he wants this fight solo. He leaves his colleague completely knocked out on the arena floor. Shun just stares, totally baffled by the sudden workplace violation. Nezria calmly announces the exam is now a 1-on-1 duel. He lays out the new rules, beat him solo, and Shun passes. But he warns our boy not to get comfortable. There is a catch. He is not going to hold back at all. He erupts in a blaze of fiery energy, and Shun just watches. He realizes this guy is the absolute real deal. The massive power-up is insane. Nezria is practically begging for a fight, promising to go even harder now. The announcer looks like he needs a fresh pair of pants watching this unfold. Without a word, Shun plants his feet and launches himself into the fray. Screaming, he closes the distance in a complete blur of motion. Their blades clash in a flash of purple and gold, and Ast is just laughing. He praises Shun's sword skills, saying he fights just like his old man. Then, he immediately roasts him for being a total magic noob. To prove it, he zaps Shun with a blast of lightning that clearly stings. Ast lectures him footwork is everything in a real sword fight. He demonstrates by shutting Shun's movement down with a punch to the gut. Shun stumbles back, forced on the defensive and teetering on the edge. He's right at the boundary now, just seconds away from losing. Ast flies in for the final blow, his fist crackling with electricity. But Shun is paralyzed. His legs are completely numb from the shock. In a last-ditch effort, he reaches out to summon something, but Ast just smirks. Having already figured out Shun's black flame magic, he starts monologuing. Meanwhile, our boy's busy pulling warp magic from the ground. Determined, Shun activates the spell, ready for a massive comeback. But suddenly, he is caught in a vortex of blue energy, totally confused. He is getting thrashed by his own spell, which Ast just hijacked. Ast casually explains he is using wine to redirect the flames. Magic 101. Our boy is getting shredded inside this magical blender, completely helpless. Even the announcer is calling it, declaring the challenger has no way out. Towering over a cornered Shun, Ast looks completely bored. He sighs, saying he really hoped for a better fight than this. Watch this, he taunts him, asking if this is truly all he has. Ast leaps in for the finish, telling Shun he isn't ready for Leviton. But Shun is seething, his eyes glowing with pure, unadulterated rage. The look alone makes Ast stop dead in his tracks, completely stunned. In a burst of defiance, Shun unleashes a massive wave of purple energy. It pushes back hard, and Ast can only watch as Shun reveals his secret. The Sword of Origin descends in a devastating arc, tearing through the air. He unleashes an attack called Kagetsuchi, hitting with everything he has. This leaves the S-rank adventurer floored by the sudden, brutal power-up. Ast is forced onto the defensive, barely blocking with his lightning. And in that exact moment, our boy Shin Yuraku is officially back in the game. Ast thinks Shun is getting cooked by the backlash of his own attack. But that purple energy rips right through his defenses like paper. The S-rank tumbles across the arena, completely caught off guard. The announcer can't even process what he just saw. Meanwhile, Uriah is in the stands, absolutely losing her mind. Shun just stands there, having completely flipped the script on this fight. He leaves Ast on the ground, nursing a pretty serious headache. Instead of getting mad, though, the guy just starts laughing his head off. He realizes Shun absorbed his own flames to power up that final strike. He even admits the kid leveled up mid-battle, though Shun stays silent. Focus completely locked in, maintaining that aura alone should be burning Shun out. But he looks like he could keep this up all day. That has Ast dropping a cryptic hint about outwitting some old man. And just like that, he's got Shun's full, undivided attention. Then Ast casually drops a bombshell. He gives up. It's his loss. You should see the stadium. Total shock. Shun is completely speechless. This is insane. An S-ranker just forfeited right in the middle of the arena. Ast says it again with a smile, confirming he's dead serious. Shun's brain is basically short-circuiting over this turn of events. Even the announcer is having an on-air meltdown, officially declaring this the biggest upset of the century. The winner is Shun, who still looks like he is buffering. Meanwhile, Uriah is in the stands absolutely losing it with joy. A supporter smirks, admitting Ast had him worried for a second. Now our boy demands to know why Ast quit, knowing full well he was holding back. Ast just casually admits it. If he'd gone all out, this whole stadium would be a crater. That little bombshell leaves Shun speechless all over again. Ast explains that making someone beat him is a pretty dumb test anyway. Don't worry, his recruitment is officially confirmed. He even offers a handshake, congratulating Shun on joining Leviton. That smile is a little too smug, though. He invites Shun to his private room for a chat, promising to finally spill the beans about that old man. Shun walks into the private office, not wasting a second before asking for the info. This kid needs to know everything about his father, Pharaoh. Ast gets this distant look, saying he still cannot believe what happened 10 years ago. He starts the story with a massive bombshell. Shun's dad assassinated the crown prince. We flash back 12 years to a red-haired adventurer fighting a Manticore. He is quickly realizing this monster is way out of his league. With his arm injured, he is completely on the defensive. He thinks of his little sister to find the will to keep fighting. The monster doesn't care, charging up a massive energy blast to finish him off. The guy wears a grim smile, just accepting his fate. But at the last second, a mysterious swordsman appears, deflecting the attack. The red-haired kid can only stare in total shock. This armored stranger calmly asks if he's okay before tossing him a glowing potion. It's an incredibly rare, expensive recovery medicine. The stranger follows that up by revealing this cave is an enemy research facility. As the kid tries to process that, the man just lights a match and sets the monster's body on fire. The adventurer freaks out, yelling that he needs the head for proof to get paid. But his savior explains this chimera is an error. It turns out the monster has insane regeneration and will revive unless completely destroyed. Then the stranger drops a bombshell. He reveals this cave is actually an enemy research facility. The kid freezes. The man just lights a match and torches the monster's remains. Our adventurer loses it. He screams that he needs the head for proof. Guess he needs the payday. His savior just explains this chimera is an error. Turns out the beast has insane regeneration. It'll revive unless it's gone for good. Everything is wrecked, and our red-haired friend is just completely short-circuiting. This stranger drops a bombshell. That thing is actually an immortal beast. And if it's left alone, it won't just stop here. It'll wipe out entire nations. The mysterious savior steps up, unleashing a wild blast of purple magic. He's locked in, dead focused as he channels all that raw energy into one point. In a flash, he just obliterates whatever was left of that monster. Young AST is frozen, his brain totally fried by the massive power gap. He realizes this guy's swordsmanship and magic are just on a different level. So naturally, he begs the old man to be his master, only to get shut down. The master claims his power is too dangerous, but back in the present, AST reveals more. That one encounter actually inspired him to create Levinton, a dedicated organization. Their whole goal is fighting those interdimensional error monsters wherever they pop up. Shun smiles, realizing that sounds exactly like his dad, the legendary world saver. Ast agrees, his old man had dreams so big that everyone just laughed at him. Still, people flocked to him, even the king himself, leaving Shun looking proud. But then the conversation hits a wall with the one question that really matters. Why did this hero turn around and kill the prince? Ast has no clue. The country just ran a headline with zero details to back it up. All Pharaoh left behind was a cryptic note, basically peak communication skills. That's literally every scrap of info he has, and he doubts there's more. Shun looks down, realizing it's the same old story his dad always lived, carrying every massive burden all by himself, just like he left his mom behind. He refuses to buy the villain narrative. His resolve is officially set. He's going to chase down the real truth, so AST makes it official right there. He proposes they hunt for pharaohs together as official Levantine members. Our boy agrees, sealing the deal on this incredibly sudden partnership. AST immediately pivots to the really important stuff prying into his personal life. He starts asking about that girl, Lisa, whom Shun claims is just a tag-along. Apparently, she's a total freeloader who just forced her way into his business. Shun insists he barely knows her, a story AST isn't buying for 1 second. He points out she's doing surprisingly well in her fight, clearly leveling up. Shun is news-bombed, shocked to hear she used to be weak, and totally confused. Meanwhile, in a grim, leaky dungeon, someone is having a legendary bad day. A green-haired guy is getting tortured, but he's actually being sarcastic about it. He's thanking his captors for the 5-star treatment, glaring right through their masks. He calls them the ugly face of the nation, showing zero fear in his eyes. A guard doesn't appreciate the attitude and smacks him down for it. They label him a terrorist, which for some reason, he finds absolutely hilarious. His eyes ignite with a glow as he smirks. The main event is finally here. A sudden burst of purple magic erupts, and he swears his loyalty to Pharaoh. He promises Shun's dad, with a bloody grin, that he'll follow him forever. With that final word, the entire place just goes up in a massive explosion. Back in the office, AST is still watching the arena, completely fixated now. Lisa is in the middle of a serious clash, looking shocked by her own strength. You can see it on AST's face. He's genuinely floored by her performance. Shun questions the rank gap, but Ash just brushes it off. He knows something. Ast recalls Liz being far too weak to even handle a lone wolf. Now he calls her a fraud, leaving Shun completely lost and confused. From Shun's perspective, her skills are easily a rank or even higher. Just like that, she drops her opponent and wins the match clean. Ast is laughing his head off, thrilled that she finally pulled off a win. But his expression darkens. He notices she only registered with her first name. Just as he starts putting the pieces together, a massive tremor hits them. Outside, a huge explosion has just ripped through part of the city. People inside are screaming, running in total panic as chaos takes over. Shun and Ast just stare, trying to process the sudden smoke and flames. The destruction is centered on a specific site. Ast identifies it immediately. It is the underground prison, a special facility built for superpowered criminals. That supposed impregnable fortress is now just a giant bonfire. Shun wonders if some old rivals are behind this. Ast starts powering up and just blasts right out through the window. Using wind magic, this guy is actually excited, calling it an interesting battle. He flies off, leaving our boy completely floored by the sudden exit. Realizing Ast can straight up fly, Shun decides he cannot just sit there. He prepares to follow suit, launching himself into the air. He takes off to chase the S-rank adventurer. Shun panics, about to be left behind. He gets an idea, channeling that purple magic directly into his feet. Our boy starts parkouring through the sky. Not bad for a beginner. He is shocked to find this also boosts his attack. He uses the momentum to launch himself right after Ast. Ast just looks back, laughing, calling Shun interesting. He tells the kid to keep up. Shun is floored Ast has this much energy left. After the chase, they finally land on a rooftop overlooking the burning chaos. Both of them just freeze, seeing what is coming out of the smoke. A whole swarm of dragons and beasts is pouring out of the prison. Shun's appraisal stone cannot even read their levels, but Ast just calls them error monsters. The S-rank is absolutely thrilled, yelling about all the prey waiting down there. His maniacal laughter makes Shun look concerned, and frankly, so am I. These shadowy creatures are just boiling out of the ground now. It leaves our boy wondering what the hell he has gotten himself into. Ast, on the other hand, is completely locked in. This is his element. But then he notices something strange. The monsters are regenerating instantly, to which he just grins, calling it convenient. This guy is completely unhinged. He squares up against a massive dragon, ready for the time of his life. Suddenly, a blonde woman appears, telling Ast not to hog all the fun. This is Yuria. Making a hell of an entrance on a monster's wing, she gives a smug smile. Clearly enjoying the absolute chaos, she calls this a playground. But Ast argues the rampage is too close to headquarters, flashing his power. She preps to join the fight. These monsters are underestimating them, a fatal mistake. Shun is totally starstruck by her power, while Ast just looks annoyed. His eye is cut short as a dragon dives right for him. Our boy unleashes a massive purple slash, refusing to back down an inch. The strike splits the monster in two, but it reveals a division ability. He is running on fumes with just 30 energy points left, but no quitting. He goes all out, summoning a massive pillar of purple flame. Ast is actually impressed, realizing Shun contained a blast to protect the city. Shun returns the compliment, amazed at Ast's magical control. This moment is ruined by the sky suddenly filling with dragons. They are completely outnumbered. Then a system window pops up. It grants him a new skill, time acceleration, but Shun is just confused because somehow he just leveled down. His new skill can literally interfere with space and time. Sounds pretty dangerous. With no other choice, he activates the fourth era skill anyway. Down below, civilians are running for their lives from a dragon attack. Shun's new skill kicks in, letting him blitz past the terrified crowd. He launches himself right at the dragon's maw, sword ready to strike. His eyes glow, pouring purple magic into the blade, and he splits it. The entire monster falls in half with one brutal slash. Ast is stunned. Shun was hiding this much power the whole time. Uriah says they should strike the source, and our boy is all in. More monsters are pouring out from the explosion's epicenter. Uriah decides to hold the line herself, telling the other to go ahead. She gives Shun a little push if he wants answers about his dad. Now is the time. He is speechless, completely floored by her sudden, unexpected trust. Ast just thanks her, and they both take off toward the disaster zone. You can tell the tension is hitting a breaking point now. They find a massive crater spewing monsters from a swirling purple vortex. Standing in the middle of it all is a single, solitary guy. AST immediately calls him out, asking if he's the mastermind behind this mess. It's the green-haired prisoner, looking extremely inconvenienced by their arrival. Ast recognizes him as Pharaoh's former disciple. Realizing this just got personal, the guy scoffs at them. He refuses to be lumped in with Carla's weakling companions. He traded his eyes for intel, and a giant firebird erupts behind him. That move leaves both Shun and AST completely shocked. The villain just gives a smug grin, adjusting his glasses. He is clearly about to enjoy himself. He calls this whole disaster a troublesome hobby, striking a pose in the flames. AST immediately clocks him as an executive class enemy. Hang on, this guy is way out of their league. Ast has a ton of questions, but he's going straight for the takedown. Pharaoh's disciple just scoffs at the idea of being captured, calling him bold. He just stands there, soaking in the fiery ambience like it's a resort. He calls this whole thing entertainment, just waiting for his master to arrive. He introduces himself as Vangel and demands the humans entertain him. Ast is more than happy to oblige. He leaps in with a massive strike, but Vangel just blocks it with one glowing hand. AST is completely shocked. With glowing red eyes, Vangel effortlessly overpowers him. Vangel swats the S-rank blade aside, sending AST flying straight into the rubble. Vangel offers some condescending praise, says he is not bad for a human. For a second, AST looks like he is finally feeling the pressure, but nope. He just realized the guy is a mage and now he is sparking with pure excitement. He is totally fired up, demanding a one-on-one fight with the old man. Meanwhile, Shun is in the background, trying to remind him they are supposed to be a team. Ast is too busy getting the battle tingles to listen. Shun just questions his life choices. It is getting awkward. Vangel finds this whole display pretty interesting. Most people are not this eager to die, but Ast just grins. Ready for the fight of his life, AST looks at Vangel, absolutely thrilled. The villain looks completely unimpressed by the S-rank sudden enthusiasm. With a wild look in his eyes, Ast gets ready to go all out. He lunges forward with a massive wind blade, aiming to end this fight fast. Vangel just smirks, surprised to find someone this strong hanging around here. That battle-crazed smile stays on AST's face. He is totally unfazed. Powering up with a sinister red aura, Vangel says he will get serious. For the first time in ages, his ego is off the charts. He promises to finally try. Our S-rank just tightens his grip, ready for whatever comes next. Another powerful slash flies from AST's sword. He is shocked. He wonders if Vangel has the same ability as someone named Carla. Vangel scoffs at the comparison, calling that other power pathetic. He declares he is the wind itself. Ast realizes attacks won't even connect. A vortex of dark energy erupts, blasting Ast high into the air. Our boy is in real trouble now. He realizes this is way more dangerous than he thought. Below, Vangel laughs. He compliments his dodging skills to counter. AST tries to focus. He taps into his sheer will. For a second, it looks like he has a plan. Then Vangel teleports right behind him, moving at impossible speed. The villain mocks him, calling him a slow turtle. Shun watches in horror as the fight turns south. Ast is getting absolutely rocked. Up on the rooftop, the S-rank realizes this guy is no ordinary mage. Vangel just smirks. Turns out he isn't a mage at all. His power is some calamitous wind from outside their own dimension. Just casual stuff. Really, this whole reveal has us completely floored. With a surge of red energy, Vangel forces the S rank to his knees. Those glowing eyes just scream he's enjoying this way too much. Ast is trapped, completely overwhelmed by this insane pressure from the sidelines. Shun screams his new buddy's name as a massive blast sends Ast plummeting. From the sky, he crashes hard into the dirt. Vangel looms over him. He calls him a boring disappointment, raising his sword to end it. Just drop dead, he snaps, but Shun zips in, screaming he won't let him. Our boy intercepts the killing blow with a massive purple slash. No good, the attack is stopped cold, so he triggers another error. He unleashes black flame magic, which makes Vangel pause for a second. He recognizes it as Pharaoh's power. He admits it out loud. Shun's power is special, he says, then calls it yawn-inducing, ouch, harsh. Vangel is already bored, asking if Shun is done yet, but our boy grits his teeth. He readies another purple flame attack, unleashing a secret sword of origin technique. From midair, it gets a tiny yawn from Vangel, who knows the move. This villain stops the blade with one hand, calling the power trash. Then he just blasts Shun away with a wave of dark, crushing energy. Standing over him, Vangel mocks his lack of backbone. Shun realizes the truth. This guy's strength is on another level entirely. Vangel's hand glows deep red. He promises to end this in an instant, his power pulsing with pure heat. You're about to die energy, he gives a smirk, asking if Shun is serious. Does he really want to keep going? This only solidifies Shun's resolve. He will find his father. With new fire in his eyes, he ignores the gap. Suddenly, Vangel is frozen, surrounded by strange, shifting digital blocks. A mysterious voice echoes, promising Shun that he won't let him die here. Oh boy is left completely stunned by the sudden, weird intervention. He sees a ghostly figure standing before him, looking exactly like his dad. This is Time Stop, the voice explains, a superior version of his own. Brilliant light shines down, and Shun stares up in total disbelief. Eyes widening in recognition, he realizes exactly who has arrived. Shun stands there as golden runes confirm time itself has frozen solid. Descending from the heavens is the man he remembers. Yep, it's Dad. Looking smug, he says it's been a while, explaining how Shun's leveling helps. It weakens some curse, letting him pop in for a visit. Our boy gets it. This little family reunion is on a tight timer. His dad gives him a forward poke, calling him a smart kid. Then he drops one cryptic hint. The key to winning is locked in Shun's own memories. A vision flashes. His dad with some allies and a giant Volf, a younger version of him. He looks totally badass, saying he's glad everyone's safe, back in the present. Shun is completely rattled by this new, strange memory fragment. His dad tells him to keep lowering his level. Break the curse, he says, and return to his old, true self. With that, the ghostly intervention starts to fade away. Meanwhile, Vangel is finally unpaused, wondering what that weird feeling was. He realizes someone just messed with time right under his nose, something that shouldn't even be possible. His eyes go wide with shock because he's staring at a white-haired, red-eyed Shun. Our boy just looks at his own hand, totally bewildered. He watches the transformation, wondering what the hell is up with this sudden glow-up. Then it clicks, this must be his appearance from a past life. And with that realization, a massive torrent of purple energy just explodes. Bangal is completely losing his mind over this insane new power-up. Our boy finally gets it. Those memory flashes were his past life. This villain just stares, trying to process what is happening before Shun. Blitzes him in a flash of purple light, revealing his past self. Was a swordsman who reached the absolute peak, a title known as the Sword Saint. For the first time, Vangali actually gets hurt, his arm glitching out as Shun. Confirms all those memories were from his time as that legendary warrior. This earns him some grudging respect from the villain for landing a hit. who figures out Shun is using time acceleration to cut spacetime itself. Our boy just smirks, asking how long that tough guy act will last. Vangali unleashes a tidal wave of red energy, asking the same question back. Suddenly, Shun is on the defensive, caught in the crimson storm, his eyes narrowing as he braces for the impact. This counterattack lands, hard blasting him from multiple angles. Vangali is just grinning, absolutely loving this turn of events. Shun struggles to hold his ground against the onslaught, realizing the sword Saint's power is way too much for his body to handle. This villain closes in, ready to finish this with another devastating blow, and their blades meet in a massive, explosive clash. Shun is barely holding on, straining against Vangal's overwhelming power, and the villain realizes the kid is about to try something desperate, pouring every last drop of energy into his blade for one final shot, unleashing the second form of his secret sword technique. A wild flurry of purple slashes called spacetime severance, and it actually connects, drawing blood from Vangal's face, which just makes the villain laugh, genuinely impressed. For once, he muses that it has been ages since he has bled, admitting he was holding back this whole time. With a wicked grin, he decides the kid gloves are coming off, and a terrifying pillar of dark purple energy just erupts around him, leaving Shun completely stunned by the sudden power. Spike, Vangali then drops the bomb. His objective here is already complete. And right on cue, a massive wave of fire descends from the sky, revealing a giant flaming phoenix he summoned to wreck the place. This villain smirks, saying this little fight was just a stall for time, making Shun realize he was summoning this apocalypse bird while they were fighting below them. Fireballs start raining down on the helpless city as Vangali casually confirms the whole place is about to be a sea of fire. He calls the city's people an eyesore, needing to be cleared out for his next plan, promising that Shun and EST will be turned to ash right along with them. Shun's eyes go wide. The power-up's recoil hits him like a truck. He doubles over, realizing the backlash from that form is absolutely brutal. With both heroes gassed, Vangali gloats about torching the city. But as he launches a fireball, a blast of blue energy intercepts it. More blue blasts streak past Shun, wiping out the attacks from the sky. Oh boy is left completely baffled as ice crystals rain down instead. And look who it is, a blonde warrior arrives with backup, looking totally unimpressed. Shun recognizes her as Lisa, who apologizes for being fashionably late. She mentions she was busy gathering people, which just confuses Shun until he sees she's brought a small army of adventurers with her. Yep, the whole squad. They rolled up ready to throw down, and Lisa turns to Vangel. She gives him a formal greeting, introducing herself as Reese. As the first princess of the entire country, the villain just hangs there, listening to her royal intro as the princess stands her ground. Looking every bit the part, this bombshell leaves Shun and Ass completely stunned. Vangel, however, just scoffs, figuring she must have a special royal skill. He basically dares her to prove she's not just another warm body. She calmly confirms her skill is a rapid-acting lethal poison, holding up a glowing green dagger that promises a very, very bad time. Lisa holds her poison dagger ready for a very unfriendly introduction. But Vangel just starts laughing his evil little heart out, finding this whole princess has arrived thing to be peak entertainment. Below, Ast admits he always knew something was off about her. Lisa gives him a small, almost apologetic smile, finally coming clean. She's been keeping her royal identity a secret. She reveals her tragic backstory. Her brother was murdered and her appearance was altered, which is why she approached Shun and Ast in disguise. Ast connects the dots. Lisa is the princess. The murdered prince was her brother. He is floored, realizing she's a much better person than he ever imagined. She acknowledges that he risked his life for her without knowing who she was, explaining that's why she's telling him the truth now, even if he hates her. Because this time, she's the one who is going to do the saving. A massive pillar of green poison energy erupts around her. Ast is left completely stunned by the sudden power display. She declares it's her turn to help Shun, pointing her blade forward. Vangel just smirks, basically daring her to try it. But then, the poison actually starts creeping over his body, catching him off guard. His confident expression finally cracks as the green spreads across his skin. Lisa confirms it. No one escapes the royal family's poison, no exceptions. Ast watches, realizing the princess is flooding the whole area with toxic mist. Vangel actually feels it, admitting his human body is struggling against the toxin, which he finds incredibly annoying. By the way, this villain starts running his mouth, calling her out for deceiving everyone. Then he turns to Shun, asking what he thinks about all this, before dropping the bomb that Lisa was originally there to kill him. Lisa's expression is just pure, heartbreaking resolve. A flashback reveals her murdered brother was her only real friend. In his suffocating, lonely royal life, they used to sneak out of the castle together for secret adventures. These irreplaceable moments were their only escape, a fleeting, happy memory. But that joy is crushed by the trauma of his brutal murder. She confronted her father, the king, demanding justice against Pharaoh. Bright just told her to suck it up for the kingdom's sake. He gave her a royal command, never touch the case again. Her fist clenches in pure fury as she calls her father a coward. With that, she storms out of the throne room, completely done with him. She threw herself into brutal training and mastered deadly poison skills. Finally, she escaped the castle to hunt for the truth herself. That trail led her straight to the son of the man she blamed, Shun. This flashback kicks off with Ast yelling at Shun for being cocky. Shun fires back, worried his recklessness will get other adventurers killed. Ast, ever the reckless team player, basically says he doesn't give a damn. From the shadows, Liz watches, noting Shun doesn't seem evil like his dad. She's baffled, though, that he got stuck with a garbage level-down skill. Her investigation gets messy when a spectral Wolf decides to jump her. The attack sends her stumbling back, completely caught off guard. She immediately realizes she screwed up by underestimating the beast. Now she's surrounded, knowing her only real option is to run. Her face is a perfect picture of I have made a terrible mistake. But Shun swoops in at the last second, screaming at her to escape. He holds them off, leaving the princess absolutely stunned by his selflessness. Her mind is blown. He shouldn't even be able to fight with that debuff. She admits she put his life in danger just because of his father. That guilt is hitting her now like a ton of bricks. Back in the present, she explains she saw his true character that day. She vows to protect him because she can't stand to lose someone honest. Shun just looks on, completely floored by her fierce declaration. Liz finally confesses to Shun that she deceived him all along. Then she turns to Vangel, declaring this is where they part ways. Shun is left completely blindsided by this whole turn of events. This poison-covered villain finds the whole heroic speech hilarious. A menacing red aura erupts as he starts to laugh. He admits he doesn't get it. His expression darkens, asking if she has a death wish. Liz doesn't flinch, promising to break through his power no matter what. Vangel gets real nasty, vowing to send her to the afterlife. He says she can go join her brother there. That threat makes something in Shun just snap. He bolts forward, throwing himself between Liz and the villain. Shun's own power flares up, intercepting the attack and leaving Vangel shocked. Liz is stunned. She asks why he'd protect her after everything. Straining against the force, Shun says the answer is pretty simple. Because she's here, and he calls her by her real name, Reese. Her mind is reeling, still not understanding his reasoning at all. Then our boy gives her this genuinely warm, sincere smile. His reasoning is so simple, so clear, it just echoes in her mind. It hits her right in the heart, and she finally asks if he can forgive someone like her. But Shun says there is nothing to forgive, explaining he knows exactly what it's like to lose family. A quick flashback hits, showing he understands that pain all too well. Shun apologizes. He admits he was too focused on his own quest to see her suffering, but now he is facing the grim truth. His own father might be the one who murdered her brother. If his dad is still working with these monsters, he swears as his son to stop him with everything he has. Totally floored, Reese asks if he will truly accept her as a comrade. With a brilliant smile, she gives him a heartfelt yes. Bengal, however, is completely over this emotional bonding session. His giant flaming phoenix summon is finally complete. The creature unleashes a massive pillar of fire straight down at them. Shun and Reese brace for an attack they cannot possibly dodge, but another blind warrior suddenly leaps right into the inferno. It is Irisha, the sword phantom. She just tanked the whole blast and casually apologizes for being late, blaming a monster cleanup detour. Her expression hardens as she vows that this is where their rampage ends. Bengal just smirks, recognizing the famous adventurer by name. Uriah then mocks Asuka for getting so thoroughly beaten up, which he loves. He furiously insists he did not lose, a claim she just waves off. A purple aura flares around her as she announces it is payback time. Shun splits the team, telling the others to handle Vangel while they take the bird. But Irisha just smiles, telling him he is the one who inspired everyone to move. Irisha recalls Shun facing an impossible test, a moment where even S-rankers would fold. But he did not give up for a single second. Looking totally determined, his sheer will was so strong it inspired everyone else to keep fighting. Now watch this, the heat is turning up. Back in the present, she asks Asuka if he still has some fight left in him. Vangel is genuinely shocked they can even stand after that attack. Shun just stares back, knowing he has to keep pushing forward no matter what. A strange purple energy suddenly erupts around him, catching our boy completely off guard. He has no idea what is happening. Turns out Reese is giving him a little boost. She explains the fine line between poison and medicine, revealing she is basically juicing him up with a combat stimulant. With a smirk, she asks if he can feel the power overflowing. Shun is just blown away, admitting she is absolutely incredible. She tells him to count on her because with this boost, she can still fight too. This whole squad is now powered up and ready for round 2. Asuka is practically vibrating with excitement, ready to jump the villain as a team. While in the background, that giant firebird is still trashing other adventurers. Suddenly, a new guy with shades calmly assesses the battlefield, concluding that in this situation, there is zero chance of winning. He just stands there watching it all unfold. Vangel plucks a flaming feather out of the air with a chuckle. He starts laughing like a total maniac, clearly enjoying the pure chaos. Shun looks over, completely baffled by the guy's maniacal laughter. The new guy in shades just soaks it all in, loving the beatdown. He calls out some old man, telling him it is time to show himself. In response, a massive purple crack rips through the air. This development immediately catches Shun's attention as the sky tears open. Dark, shadowy tendrils pour out above the battlefield. Someone was hiding nearby, and their first target is Vangel's giant phoenix. The shadows shoot down, grabbing the other adventurers on the ground, snaring everyone in some kind of dark, binding magic. Even Arisha, the sword phantom, is caught completely off guard. Shun and Reese are getting trapped right alongside her. This entire area is now a swirling mess of fire and shadow. It leaves our boy Shun just staring in absolute disbelief. Below them, the remaining adventurers are getting wiped out by the flames. Then a new voice sighs, annoyed about having to intervene. Shun desperately tries to figure out where this new player is. His eyes widen as he witnesses the next impossible event. Huge blue pillars crash down from the sky. The voice calls this whole disaster a half-finished experiment. Totally overwhelmed, Shun can only ask why any of this is happening. Shun's mind short-circuits, demanding to know why he is even here. This new player is identified as the founder of Levantine, and he's Shun's own father. Honestly, the worst family reunion ever. Floating above the fire is the man himself, Farios Bright. His hands are crackling with some seriously nasty purple energy. Our boy just repeats his question, totally unable to process this. The legendary founder of the Adventurers Guild is literally his dad. He hovers there, looking down on them like they're all just ants. He gives Shun a classic "you have grown" speech, dripping with condescension. He points at the sword, casually mentioning it was a gift from him. Dad of the Year calls it disappointing that Shun is still using it. Shun is completely broken by this, barely able to speak a word. A memory flashes through his mind, the question of why hanging heavy. He finally finds his voice, demanding to know why his father slaughtered everyone. Farius's response is completely deadpan. "Who did I?" He calls the other adventurers insects that he simply swept away. Because that is exactly what you do when things stand in your way, apparently. Our boy is justifiably losing his mind over this casual, heartless evil. Right beside him, Reese is absolutely seething, her power spiking hard. Now watch this. She is flaring up, ready to fight the man who started it all. Reese's hands are crackling with vengeful energy, set to tear Farios apart. Orisha is completely stunned by this sudden, reckless surge of raw force. So she grabs Reese, screaming at her to stop before she gets herself killed. Farios just stares down at her, that condescending look burning into her. 10 years, and she still won't stop clawing for her brother's revenge. Reese glares back, utterly disgusted, spitting out that he's nothing but a nuisance. Then she calls out to the old man, pointing out how he's a completely different monster than he was a decade ago. Farios just smirks, patronizingly congratulating him on finally hitting S rank. He credits his own brutal training for the success, then gestures to the ruin, demanding to know what this sick joke is even supposed to be. Vangel chimes in, mocking them both, explaining how this is all just a massive experiment to spawn new monsters. The poison-covered villain seems way too proud of his little science project. Farios dismisses the defeated Phoenix, calling it weak in this dimension. As Vangel promises to burn the city, Farios confirms it's all on schedule. Everything is going exactly according to his twisted expectations. Shun finally finds his voice, barely managing to call out to his father. Memories flash back to the hero who once wanted to save everyone. He demands to know why that man is now the one creating monsters. Farios gives the most classic villain answer of all time. He's remaking the world. Our boy just freezes, trying to process that level of textbook evil. Vangel is having a blast, laughing about how Farios gave him power. Power to finally act on his hatred for the country. Farios nods quietly, acknowledging their conviction is strong enough to risk it all. Then that twisted logic kicks in. He credits noble sacrifices for his success. He actually says he is grateful for the people he used as lab rats. Reese is absolutely spitting fire at the audacity of it all. She calls him out for turning innocent victims into nothing but terrorists. This supervillain just calls her reaction unexpected, dripping with pure condescension. Then he launches into a whole speech about the broken state of the world, blaming it on the unfair skills people are born with from day one. He puts the blame squarely on the royal family's negligence, of course, claiming their failure is exactly why his test subjects exist. Reese isn't having any of it, demanding to know why he killed her brother. Farios just repeats that generic line about remaking the world. As Reese starts to lose control, Arisha grabs her, screaming about the massive power gap. Reese tells her to get out of the way, but Arisha just calmly faces her old mentor, eyes steady. She even thanks Farios for teaching her the basics of being an adventurer, recalling his old lesson about never letting emotions cloud your judgment. He finds that nostalgic, telling her she should realize the truth. Fighting him is completely pointless, and he offers her the power behind the world. Shun steps up instead, declaring he cannot run away anymore. Arisha agrees, drawing her own weapon, vowing to stop his sins right here. All this time, Shun has just been watching this disaster unfold. His mind flashes back one last time to the father he once admired. He finally makes his choice, addressing him, not as father. As Farios brightens, Shun realizes this isn't the father he remembers. Farios just stares back, basically asking, "So what are you gonna do?" Decision made, Shun's hand tightens white on his sword hilt. He declares he'll stop this madness by force. He's all in, promising to punch some sense into the old man, a solid plan. Reese and Arisha agree, convinced they can take him, but Farios just turns his back, signing that negotiations have failed. No surprise there. Since it cannot be helped, he draws his own seriously evil-looking sword. He takes a single calm breath before unleashing pure hell. Then he lunges forward with terrifying speed, dropping a casual, earth-splitting slash that tears the ground apart. Shun meets the attack head-on, trying to parry the massive blast, but the sheer force is staggering. He's getting pushed back, struggling to hold against the onslaught. He can barely comprehend this insane level of power. This raw gap is just ridiculous, with Farios barely even trying. Dad of the Year looks down, completely unimpressed with his son. But Ast comes flying in from behind, yelling it's not over yet. Farios just dismisses him with a single word of useless. He then casually blocks Ast's flaming punch without even turning around. Farios immediately clocks their strategy, identifying Arisha's illusion magic. She confirms it, seemingly landing a solid hit from behind while Ast attacks. She simultaneously engulfs the area in a massive fireball, but Farios just stands there, condescendingly praising their good teamwork. He then unleashes his own power, asking if they really thought he couldn't read it, blasting them both back with a huge wave of dark energy from his blade. Ast gets to his feet, reminding the old man they are S rank now, yelling that no matter how strong he is, they can still reach him. He fires a massive beam of pure flame right at his former mentor. Farios just scoffs, calling the whole display ridiculous. Suddenly, Arisha appears behind him, again, wrapping him in pink energy chains, taunting the world's strongest swordsman for letting his guard down. Farios realizes instantly it's another combined illusion meant to distract him. Arisha smugly confirms it. She's not dumb enough to fight him head-on. With the big bad's attention divided, Ast swoops in for the actual attack, a confident grin on his face as he prepares to land the real blow. Arisha's expression is pure focus, holding the illusion together. All Shun can do is watch this high-level strategy play out while Farios stands there, still within his dark aura, his face a perfect mask of soul-crushing boredom. Ast is laughing, convinced their big combo actually landed a clean hit, but Farios just stands there, giving them a patronizing "good job, kids." Then he casually traps them both in a cursed energy bind, and Shun can only watch as their whole strategy falls apart. Instantly, Arisha is caught midair, completely immobilized. She and Ast realize this cursed power has them totally locked down. Their old mentor, he just scoffs, telling them those little tricks don't work on him, not against a 2S rank. He turns to Shun then, hitting him with a classic villain ultimatum: fight or just run away. But something is wrong. A strange green energy starts creeping up his arm, and suddenly the ground erupts with raw power. A trap sprung, maybe too late, or maybe exactly when it needed to be. Reese watches from the side, revealing this was her doing all along. She used terrain-shifting magic, but it comes at a heavy cost. Farios recognizes it instantly. That's the unique power of the royal family. She screams for Shun to attack while the big bad is locked in place. But Dad of the Year just grabs the sword with his bare hand, calling it useless. Shun's entire world just shatters at that casual display of strength. He effortlessly overpowers his son without even breaking a sweat. Then he reveals he expected this, calling Reese by her full title, Princess Reeseus, and she's left completely stunned. Coughing up blood as the price of her magic hits, Arios orders Vangel to grab the princess. He tosses her aside, then starts ranting about his master plan to flood the world with monsters. Just casual villain stuff. Shun, barely on his feet, swears he won't let him get away with it. His dad just swats him out of the air like a fly. He tells his son to stay down and watch quietly, calling him immature. Farios even twists the knife, pointing out that Shun is the weakest person here by a mile. Our boy can only lie there, crushed, admitting his father is right. Even with his past life memories, he can't seem to master that incredible power. And because of that, he couldn't even save Reese. This kid is completely broken, stuck in a full-blown crisis of confidence. Suddenly, a voice from his memories gives him a hint. The key is already inside him. Shun realizes he's been so focused on his past self that he forgot his own strength. He remembers his true desires, just to live honestly and protect the people he loves. The voice tells him it's okay to be weak. It's fine to be ridiculed. As long as he can make someone happy, that's all that matters. His fist starts to glow with that resolve, and a massive pillar of light erupts as he vows not to give up. Farios actually seems a little surprised by the sudden power-up, and Vangel senses it too, calling out the strange new presence. A shadowy figure appears behind them, making Vangel admit that things just got serious. But Shun, now glowing with a dark aura, says something feels off. This voice in his head asks if he's finally awakened. A system window confirms it, dubbing him the original Sword Saint, level unknown. Vangel looks on, realizing Shun has finally unlocked his true potential. Well, our boy just stares back, looking like a completely different person. He finally understands his power was sealed as part of an evil scheme. A power so great, they couldn't risk him using it. Even after reincarnation, Vangel explains this is the Divine Shadow style. Shun created it 2,000 years ago, a legendary, invincible style that spawned countless knockoffs. Now Shun knows exactly why the Evil Lord was so terrified of him. His eyes practically glow with newfound purpose, but some teal light begins to flicker. That guy in glasses suddenly pops up, all smiles, ready to crash the party. He swears he'll end this power-up montage right now. Shun just stays calm. He draws his blade, already channeling that ancient secret technique. With one single slash, he carves through the entire line of attackers. The newcomer is stunned as the attack lands dead center. He's literally on fire. He gasps, actually admitting that Shun's power is on another level. Even his buddies are staring at the wreckage in pure disbelief. Shun looks back, almost impressed, noting how strong everyone's gotten. Bengal recognizes the old style, labeling Shun's family a bunch of monsters. That means it's time to stop holding back. Bengal gets dead serious. He said Shun's full name, lunging forward. Our guy turns around. He's looking every bit like a final boss himself. The fight ignites, their blades clashing in a massive burst of purple energy. Shun holds the line, not flinching at all against the crushing pressure. Locked in a power struggle, a classic who blinks first moment, Bengal breaks away. He swings a massive arc of purple death, but Shun's face stays pure ice. Glowing eyes tracking everything, their slashes collide in a violent spark. They tear the ground apart with that shockwave. The stare-down continues. Neither one gives an inch. Shun plants his foot, ready for the next exchange, digging his heels in to hold his ground against the onslaught. Suddenly, he's parrying a frantic barrage blur of motion and steel. The display clearly catches Vangel off guard, but Shun stays locked in. He keeps his eyes on the prize, meeting every single strike head-on. The whole battlefield has turned into a blender of clashing energy and speed. Irisha watches from the side, thinking they look pretty evenly matched. But then she sees the flaw. Vangel is just physically stronger. At this rate, Shun's body is going to give out any second. Right on cue, Shun gets blasted back, the physical toll finally showing. He knows the issue. He has the ancient skills, but this body is a cheap knockoff. It just cannot handle the output. His opponent looms over him, gloating. He points out the obvious. There is no way Shun wins like this. Shun knew it all along, though he knows his body is a liability. But his eyes stay like steel, and then he just sheathes his sword. A bold move mid-fight. His teammates look absolutely baffled. They think he's given up, But Vangel knows exactly what this is. It is the legendary swordless zero form. Shun is just like, yeah, that was my specialty 2,000 years ago. Vangel's ready for this. He wants to see how long this budget body can handle an ancient master's moves. The tension snaps, both of them locked in a lethal death glare. Vangel makes the first move, rushing in for the kill. Shun's eyes flare red. Tracking every movement with perfect clarity, he dodges the downward slash. It's like watching it in slow motion. He counters with a lightning-fast palm strike. It lands right in the chest. Vangel finally gets it. This new style is all about conserving power, the divine shadow style. The strongest, long-lost fighting form. This zero form is the real deal. This was the very first technique Shun created as the original Sword Saint. A style based on reading every twitch and breath before making a move. He lets go of his blade to fight unburdened, and the speed is unreal. It is the ultimate combat method, landing perfectly and sending Vangel stumbling back. He is completely caught off guard by the impact. Look at that shock. He never saw that coming. Shun just stands there looking down, totally in control. Ast is completely baffled watching Shun fight the old man without a sword. Vangel admits that our boy is anything but ordinary. He recognizes this zero form as Shun's big gamble for the win. Shun just says his sword was completely worn out anyway. Gale gives a smug little smile. You know he gets it. Then comes the classic villain monologue as Vangel unleashes a terrifying purple aura. He calls out the style's flaws, bad range, no knockout punch, taunting Shun. He basically claims our boy cannot possibly win like this. Watch Shun's face. It is pure unadulterated watch me. The stare down is on. Vangel clenches his fist, announcing he is coming, and he lunges forward. He screams Shun's full name while our boy meets the charge head on. Shun's aura flares red, his hand darting back to his sheathed sword. But Vangel is already on him in a flash of purple. The powers collide. It results in a massive explosion of light. Another intense split-screen glare. Vangel charges in again, sword ready to strike. Shun prepares to draw, knowing his blade has one last shot. He puts everything into one surprise attack, accelerating time itself. Vangel actually looks surprised for a split second. Shun unleashes the Divine Shadow Style secret second form. But Vangel knows the exact same move. What a total copycat. Their attacks collide in a true space-time severance, creating a shockwave. It is so powerful it even rattles his teammates in the back. These two are just silhouettes of destruction on the ruined landscape. Vangel's face is pure murderous focus, but Shun matches his glare. The physical toll is starting to show. A piece of metal goes flying. It is the tip of Shun's sword, totally shattered. He is coughing up blood. His body really is not holding up. A nasty gash opens on his chest. He got hit. Vangel just watches. He lets the damage sink in. This old man is bleeding too, but offers a respectful well done. Then he turns his back, using his sword like a cane. His friends are just staring, completely stunned by the outcome. Ast asks if Shun won, but the answer is a pretty clear no. Vangel knew Shun could not win swordless, forcing that final desperate move. Our boy just stands there, taking the loss. Vangel basically says the fight was decided by who had the better sword. He has already turned his back, calling the battle over. Shun just stares, completely speechless at the loss. His friends are in the background, sharing the same stunned silence. But wait, Vangel starts glitching out, covered in blue particles, a healing effect Shun recognizes. The team watches, helpless, as the guy with the visor recovers instantly. That teal-haired guy chimes in, mocking Vangel for attacking his own son. Vangel just gives a grim look, admitting his time is running out. He tells Shun that while murder would be fun, he is on a tight schedule. The evil god needs him elsewhere, so this fight is already over. Suddenly, enemy reinforcements show up because of course they do. Seeing them arrive, Vangel decides it is time to pack it in. His buddy agrees, claiming they already got what they came for by securing the princess. Shun loses it, screaming Reese's name and making a desperate dash. He charges toward their glowing red teleportation circle, caught in the light. He yells at Vangle for running away, but he has no sword left. His lunge is completely useless, just as predicted. That old man gives him one last look, saying he is too weak to stop them. The evil lord's voice cuts in, gloating that his 2,000-year-old plan is working. As they vanish, he tells Shun to just sit back and watch the world get remade. Shun is left standing in the wreckage, completely alone. Ast and Arisha are just staring, their brains completely fried. The weight of the loss hits Shun hard, grim and silent. A single sword lies abandoned on the cracked earth. Ast is just holding his head, completely lost and confused. Then he gets in Shun's face, calling that sudden power-up cheating. Shun calmly offers to explain everything he understands. Then he drops the bomb. He is the original Sword Saint, reborn. He admits it is hard to believe, but he has felt it for a long time. He describes flashes of memories and power that were never his. For Claudia, all the weirdness is finally starting to click. She realizes Shun's previous power surges were never normal at all. Claudia asks if he has fully recovered his Sword Saint mojo, and Shun confirms it. He has the power back, but his sword is toast. Ast is still reeling, asking if he has the memories too, which he does. This kid is floored. Shun is the literal founder of modern swordsmanship. Arisha connects the dots, realizing the vizier guy was the boss of the villains. She deduces he is running a secret group creating those error monsters. Shun is laser-focused, knowing Reese's kidnapping has a dark purpose. Arisha tries to lighten the mood, asking if he is an old man now. He is not amused. Shun asks them to keep his whole reincarnated legend thing on the down low. Arisha just smirks, completely unsurprised by his attempt at normality. The mood darkens fast. Remembering Reese is gone and they are hopelessly outgunned. But then Shun dramatically announces he still has a way to win. Ast asks if his ancient memories hold some kind of secret plan. With a look of pure conviction, Shun confirms his 2,000-year-old knowledge is their last hope. Now get ready, this is where the real fight for the world begins.